Alright, welcome to what I call Project 2, Least Squares Regression, or OLS, Ordinary Least Squares. It may not be your Project 2. The teachers are allowed to assign projects in any order that they want. So different teachers this may be your Project 5 for all I know. Anyway, the first thing we do is start with the base Excel file. We'll just click on that to download it. We'll click OK to go ahead and open it. Wait for our Excel to start up. And enable our editing, and then enable the content. I want to highlight that this is a video, so if I go too quick or you don't hear something, just pause it, rewind it, and watch it again. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is enter our name, first name, last name, and then you're going to get an identification number for the projects. I'm just going to enter one here. And make sure when you do it, you enter the correct number, because we key on that for grading and a number of other different things. And then we'll just go ahead and click create the file. Alright, so here's our data file. I'm going to come back. We're going to click on our setup file, and we're just going to exit it and don't save. And now this particular file is on your desktop. So that it's right here on mine, and you can save it to a jump drive or some other place rather than just work on your desktop. Just go ahead and click our save button here real quick. Now, the first thing we're going to work on, well, let me talk a little bit about the data. So what we have here is actually medical data. So in this case, we had an individual that was 0 years old, was a male. 1 is female, 0 is male. Had a length of stay of 4 days. Their medical code for their stay was code 640, and this is the description of it. If you want to match a column, so this is the F column and it's going out quite far. We can just double click here, and that'll organize things the way they're supposed to be. Alright, anyway, so code 640 represents neonatal birth with some other conditions. Code 249 is non-bacterial gastroenteritis, etc., etc. So you can see what they are. Total charge is the total amount that was charged, and I'll just mention that this data set is coming from 2003, so if it was on current data, the charges would probably be higher. And another thing I want to comment on real quick is you'll see that there's some these are highlighted cells. What that means is they're going to be the ones that get graded. So you'll pick up on it as time. The color is meaningless. We're just trying to inform you on where it's supposed to be. We write a program that goes ahead and does the grading, so it's going to come to cell H2, as you see up here, H2, and check my equation against your equation. If the two guys match, more or less, then it's good. If they don't match, then you might get an error, or you'll get it marked incorrectly. Alright, next thing we want to do is come to our analysis tab. There's some more stuff that's highlighted that we'll need to do. We're going to start by getting a copy of our total charge. So I'm just going to click here, hold down the control key, the shift key, and the down arrow key. That's going to highlight everything. Hold down the control key and hit C for copy. I'm working on a Windows machine that's different on a Mac. Come to the analysis tab. We'll just click up here and do a control V to paste. Next thing we want is the number of observations. We want an observation count. So I'm just going to go 1. I'm going to use what's known as a series fill. We're going to come over here to fill. We're going to do a series, click on column, and then we're going to end at 800. Everybody has 800 observations for this project. Other projects you get random numbers, but on this one it's exactly 800 for everybody. So that goes ahead and fills it down. We can just drag down here real quick. You can see 800 is the last number. This is a quick way to get reference points taken care of. All right, and next thing we want to do is go ahead and sort our total charges from smallest to biggest. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, do a control shift down arrow key, to highlight what I want to sort, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do a sort smallest to largest. We do not want it to expand the selection, and go ahead and do a sort. This is my smallest value, and then at the bottom is going to be my largest. And the next thing we're going to do is, what we want to do is know our data. So we want to know what the distribution kind of looks like. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and create a histogram. I'm going to go ahead and throw a underline in here. And another thing I'm going to do is freeze panes. So we're going to click here where the number 2 is. Really, I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to look at our view, and then we're going to click on freeze panes and just freeze the top row. And that way, when we scroll down, we always see the main headers that are out there. Alright, so I'm just going to finish this column right here, and then from that we're going to end the video and then come back and work on our histogram plot. So we're going to start with the number of bins. That's going to be 25. I'm going to go ahead and clear out the highlighting by doing a fill, no fill. It just makes it a little easier, and I'm also going to go ahead and zoom up a little bit to make it easier to see what I'm doing. Alright, so first thing we need is our min and max. So this is going to be equal to the min, parenthesis, and then we pick our first value, do a control shift down arrow, and then a return. So that means our min is the lowest number because we have it sorted. This is going to be equal to the max. And we'll pick here at the beginning and do a control shift and down arrow to highlight everybody, and that gives me my maximum value of $36,000. So the goal of the project actually is to create a regression that will tell us when a charge doesn't make sense, that it's either too big or too small. And at that point in the business world, you'll put people on it to analyze what the problem was. It could be a data entry error, it could be overcharging that's happening, it could be fraud, it could be a bunch of different things. So one of the things that actuaries do as part of their job is to write these analytical tools, analytical models that look at incoming charge data and decide which ones make sense, just get them through, and which ones actually have issues associated with them. Alright, so our range is really simple. It's just the max minus the min. And then the step is going to be equal to the range. We're going to divide that by the number of bins that we want. And these bins are going to be the counting positions where we count how many observations are in there and then what the distribution actually looks like. Alright, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I try and make the videos around 10 minutes. Sometimes I have to go a little bit longer. Sometimes they're significantly shorter. But anyway, we'll stop here, and when we come back we're going to fill out our frequency table. Alright, thank you very much. Goodbye.